You've had a lovely year since Báite premiered at Galway, and it's awards and nominees, and I'm just wondering now. Well, actually, first, if you could tell us a little bit about Peggy and what she means to you.
That's so interesting. So, Peggy is a fabulous woman. She is the protagonist, definitely, in our story of Báite. A very, very strong woman. And last night when we were doing the Q&A, somebody was kind of like, who did you draw on for these, like, strong women roles? And I was in bed last night being like, it's my mother.
Oh.
It's my mother. And it was really bizarre that I was like, and I think it's that feeling of when things are so close to you, you can't see them anymore.
Yeah.
Because even when I was talking to the aunts, I was like, oh, I've aunts, I've, grandmothers. And then I was like, no, it's my mom. And I was like, even like her growing up in like modern day Ireland, like she would always be like, I want to mow the lawn. Like she'd be like, I'm mowing the lawn. She looks after like the money. She looks after all these things that like are traditionally kind of male roles. So then the idea of Peggy to me, I was like, she's strong. But in my head, I was like, no, she's just a woman. So like the idea of even being like, she's such a strong woman. I'm like, no, she's just, like, this is what women are. Women are this. And it's just the idea that these type of women, speaking to other friends and talking about like, women in society, and I was like, it's just that we're not celebrated for it, or it's just not being kind of like, I don't know.
Oh, like when a man, does some dad stuff and they're like, what a great dad, and it's just expected.
Or even like the kind of, there's a historical thing around women, that women were in computers first, and that women knew how to work computers, and then the minute men came in, it was just like, oh, we should pay them more. Why? Because they're men. And they were like, women were literally doing the exact same thing, but it was just the like, who's in power, who's kind of decides like, no, this is more important. So
another example is, craft. Something is considered a craft if it's more associated with women, and it's an art form if it's something more specifically to do with men. Crocheting or like those real manual things that take a lot of dexterity and creativity. So that's very interesting. Yeah. And in terms of building her and creating her as a character, is this something that you'd work with Rún? Is this something that what was your instinct after reading the script and getting those layers in and building her?
Yeah, that's a great question. Looking back now, I just remember going when we were doing the film, like creating her and like trying to decide who she was, and it's interesting because there's this thing in film and when making things, it's like, what does the character say about themselves? Yeah. What do we hear other people say about the character? And what does the character say about other people? So I think in my mind, Peggy was extremely close to her mother, and even in the film she looks after Coleman quite a bit, and this idea of caring for other people who maybe, and in a lot of societies in Ireland as well, like people who are maybe on their own, that I think a lot of people in Irish society have a thing of like bringing them under their wing or kind of seeing that they need something, and I feel like Irish people do that because they know what it's like of like struggling and hardship, that we're extremely sympathetic towards people who are in those positions. So I feel like Peggy, the main relationship or Gael was with Pádraig Ó Lonshaig's character, and he was playing Coleman. I think he did a beautiful job. So I think it was more the character was more based on what is her relationship with people in it. Yeah. And I think that was a very strong connection and almost unspoken, that they don't really speak, that they're very like dutiful, and like even the opening credits, they don't say anything to each other. Like he goes lights the fire, she goes sets up the pub. Yeah. And that this conflict is more coming from the relationship between her siblings changing, and this idea of like heritage being passed on, and even at the end it's like she kind of says, who's going to remember this place? And it's this idea of like minding stories and minding each other. And yeah, I think it was definitely born from who she is to people and who she is within her society, and the idea of her society being like, what happens if that gets taken from her, who is she then? Yeah, which is interesting. And then you find out what actually is, and it's all revealed.
Yeah, not to give too many spoilers as well, but as an actor and a performer, and as someone who's bilingual, does working in Irish change your relationship to a role in any way? Is there any different mechanics?
Yeah, like, oh God, yeah, immediately. Like, and I think that was the interesting thing, because even when you said creating the character, I was like, God, it kind of felt like because there was another language there, it was already created. Like, I was like, oh, boom, done. I was like, whereas like any character in English, it's a bit more like, oh, no, where is this? Whereas I'm like, it's a completely different language, and like, just that alone, I was kind of almost like, and like a lot of the focus was on like, making sure the Irish was correct, or making sure like the emphasis was right, and so it was nice. It was nice having that focus, I'm going to say. Of a different language, and it was lovely there was another character, I can't remember the actor's name, but he was friends with Coleman, and he was also, he's at the pub, and he is like a fluent native speaker, and I remember watching him being like, oh my god, he's so good. And I was like, because the language was just like inherently like built into him, whereas me, it felt more like, I don't know, if it was a flower, mine is more like, oh, it's planted seed, it's still, whereas his was like a forest. Like I was like, wow, oh my god, it's so there. And I remember watching him acting, being like, oh, we all should have watched him we should have done this scene first. and watched how somebody who's like inherently like really like coming from a place of that language, which is so cool. I can't even remember your question.
But and it is like, does it make a difference? Because if you're thinking in a different language, and the words sort of have a different effect as well, and a different meaning. In terms of then, like, I'm very interested to, how do you build character with Ruan, and how might that compare to other characters you've built in the past with directors that maybe have a different way of communicating or working?
So interesting. So Ruan was great. I was really, and even last night I thanked him. I was like, thanks Ruan for directing me. I was like, I really appreciate, like, thanks for being there. Because again, like, because that focuses so much on the art, there's other things that maybe I wouldn't have had like as much kind of like energy focused on them. And I remember the first few days of filming with them, we were trying to figure out each other's communication and language skills. So like the way, again, it's so interesting because I'm like, the way people say different things. So he kept being like, you need to be like strong, you need to be strong. And I was like, yeah, I need to be strong. And in my head I heard that as my voice needs to be strong, so I need to be louder. And then like he'd come over and be like, no, like you need to be strong. And I'd be like, was that not strong? And he was like, no, like you need to be, like physically you need to be strong. So he was basically saying you need to stand more upright. And I was like, so physically, I was like, we're talking physically, like let's look really like shoo. And he was like, yeah. So then I was like, so then anytime going forward he'd be like strong, and I'd be like, strong, because he'd be like, I've such a habit of being like, hey, how are you getting on, and hunching over. Whereas he was like, no, you need to be really like in your body and really like chest proud and all this. So it was, Peggy is
such a sturdy character who's so sure of herself, and you've this big detective coming down from Dublin, who's trying to say this, and she's very assured. In a time where women weren't necessarily trusted with things, and and even in her relationship with her siblings, there is that kind of quiet power that I will always do the best thing by everyone, but I know what's right.
For sure. No, I definitely agree. And like I think Ruan was great at being like, make sure we have that, let's make sure we see it, and just creating that like dialogue together, and like carrying it through then for the rest of the shoot, which was lovely. And then like I'd say certain things and he'd be like, oh, you mean this? And I'd be like, yeah. So it was just like we did shorthand by the end of it, which was great. So for a project like this, it's in Connemara for the most part. Do you like I presume, is it like everyone, all the crew are kind of like there for the shoot? Is it like that it's kind of micro community for that? Yeah, I think so. Like I think they had a lovely, so they had the makeup team was they were from Belfast. That was quite lovely, having like a group from like Belfast. And I think, trying to think, mainly the main woman was Jennifer, and you'd somebody coming down who was like learning Irish as well, so she'd always be like, smidgy sausta, like at the end where you're doing all the checks, she'd be like, smidgy sausta, and she'd be like, that means make up happy. So it was lovely having people coming in who learning the language and being really open to it and being like, oh my god, this is amazing. It was lovely, all of us like having like that, the micro community, and like people at different stages within the language, different stages within theatre, or like not theatre but in film, and also it was a little family by the end of it, and it was lovely. And even like Mo, he was brilliant. He like said he locked himself into a room and learned off all the sounds of Irish, and he was like, I think he was like, he just learned exactly what it is, and it was perfect. And part of me was like, my god, you are so brave. Like even me coming like from like having like Irish in Gaeltacht, I was still a bit like, a Carolish, like a little bit like sweaty, being like, oh my god, hope like whatever. And people were like, no, you're fine. Whereas he was just like, I learned it off, I know what it means, I know, but it was like impeccable. He did a class job, unreal.
And you do get that sort of like, there's a really good sort of chemistry on screen between you guys. Is that something like, in terms of building that and that naturalness with your siblings, like is that something that is built? Like do you kind of like walk on set and have that? Is there much rehearsal?
I do remember me and Mo and Ruan, we were talking about the end kind of scenes towards the end of the film more so, and like what it means. And I remember us discussing like, what do the characters mean to each other by this stage, and I remember we were rehearsing in a room together, and I had an idea of like, I think it could be this. And I remember Ruan and Mo were like, yeah, and we kind of did a little mini rehearsal of it. But I thought they were lovely, that I was like, I have this idea, and the two of them were like, yeah, perfect, let's go with that. And like very supportive, and that kind of very like lovely way that men can be when they are being very supportive of women, that they were like, yes, let's do that, that does make sense. And like Mo just kind of slotted and was like, yes, I see my character being this towards you. And then with the other siblings, they're all so lovely, like Fanula's fab, Mark, like they're all great. They were all lovely to work with, but I think those relationships more happened like in between takes.
Yeah,
and
because like that lovely natural bickering, and it feels like that affectionate aggression that you only have with your siblings. It's very present as you're watching.
Yes, yeah. And siblings are so interesting as well, because like I have loads of siblings, and you know each other so well. And also know
how to push each other's buttons.
Oh my god, look, anybody's siblings, anybody who doesn't have siblings, I'm sure they have friends who are maybe siblings. No, I don't think so. I think it's very much inherently, if you have siblings, you get it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And in terms then of sort of, coming from theatre, how does that approach how you think about a character and role differently?
Yeah. Well, one of the things I had to do, and like I remember we were staying in Connemara in Barna, that's the name of the village, and we were staying in a hotel. And I remember the hotel I was staying in, because like you'd work your whatever Monday to Saturday, and you'd have your weekend off. I can't even remember. Maybe it was Monday to Friday. Sorry if I've thrown anybody under the bus. I don't quote me on this. Whatever was legal, we were doing it very legally. Whatever it was,
exactly the right amount of time.
right, and nothing more, nothing less. But in the hotel room I was staying in, I remember the first few days I was there. And then I think I went home for the weekend and came back, and they had me in a new room, and I kind of remember going kind of like, oh sugar, I need to be in the same place because I want to have the script up on the wall. So I remember I went to the hotel being like, can I just stay in the same place like for the whole duration of like, I don't know, it was 4 or 5 weeks, I can't remember. And so I had, because theatre you run from like start to finish, and film is quite, it's more dependent on where you're shooting on the day, so they favor the location first. I had all the script up on a wall in like succession of the story, like start, middle, end, because I'm very visual, and I needed to see that. So like when on that day I was like, okay, we're now here in the story, this part of the story, I've just come from that thing, we're going to be moving on to that thing. And that really helped me. And I looked like, if you've seen A Beautiful Mind, have you seen A Beautiful Mind?
Yes.
Do you know when he's got all the things up and he's like, we got it? I looked like that. And it was literally on the backboard of like, my bed was there, it was all pinned up here, and I would like stand in my bed being like, and now this one's finished, but this one we need to remember this thing to go into here.
And is that very satisfying when you kind of cross it off as in the beginning it's like fun. A mountain, and then you're like, actually we're halfway through.
We're halfway there, and I would like put a cross through it being like, and that's done, and we're like, we don't, like that part is gone. But also, I just needed to see like, where are we there, where are we going to, what are we doing, and then like that slowly being like do, and not in a bad way, but just in a way that you're like, don't worry about that one, we're slowly getting there. So I think that was the one thing that really helped me. Yeah. And
the IFTA nomination,
it was amazing.
What was that? And the Bingham Award as well, like
that was, sorry, I love it. When you're like, that was also lovely to be nominated.
But is there, is it like, are they icing on a cake, or is it like very gratifying to have those, or is it all about the performances? Do you know, like?
Do you know what's okay? So it's really interesting, because I really didn't expect to get the IFTA nomination at all. I like really didn't expect it. So it was so lovely, and I remember I was cycling that day to school, because I've gone back retraining in an Oxford School of Drama, and it's going really well. But I remember the day I found out. And the next day I went to, because I cycle into the school, it takes like 40 minutes to cycle. Very hardcore, like cycling in the rain. But I remember that morning I ate an orange, and I was cycling, and I felt whatever that morning I cycled really fast. And straight after, when I got to school, I wrote a little poem being like, was it the IFTA nomination, or was it the fact that I ate an orange that made me go faster? And this idea of like, which one was it? Was the idea of like, oh my god, I can't believe I got an IFTA nomination, I'm so fast, I'm going to be really fast. I'm like, or was the fact that like, oh no, you ate an orange and that will give you nutrition? Or is it both? So no, it was absolutely class to be nominated. And like, I keep saying to people, like, it still hasn't really sunk in that I was like in that category of people that I find absolutely fantastic. And like, I watched Like Jessie Buckley was amazing. I haven't seen Horseshoe yet. There's a few I haven't seen, but even I went to watch.
Carlin's great in that. She's
Oh
lovely.
really?
Yeah.
Look, I'm like anybody in the category. This is going to be amazing. But I watched Hot Milk with Fiona Shaw in it, and I'd met Fiona Shaw, and like I think when I met her in Dublin, I like saw her and I just wanted to be like, I think you're great, and I kind of bowed at her. Being like,
she's royalty.
And she is royalty.
She's
So
a national treasure. Yeah.
I was doing the appropriate thing of like, good, thank you so much, and she was like, thank you. And I watched her in Hot Milk, and I was like, she still got it. I was like, still amazing. So it was really cool. And I think a friend of mine also said, and I thought this was a really good point, because I think part of me, like what you're saying, is like it is about the work, and it is about doing the work regardless of nominations and regardless of all the other things outside of it. But she said to me, she was like, Eleanor, she was like, you will do more jobs, you will continue working, and you might not always get that recognition. So she was like, you know, you might do things that you're even prouder of, that will people just kind of go, oh, cool, good for you. And she was like, so it's just nice to take a moment and take stock and accept it and appreciate it and just thank everybody for it, and thank your oneself for it as well.
Because there is an awful lot of like rejection and disappointments. There's a lot of things, you know, that don't make it across the line in production, and you do have to really savor those moments. True. Yeah, that's a really lovely point. And you know, you just had an audience member kind of take you aside and say what it meant and how lovely your performance was, and like, what has it been like now watching it with so many audiences and different spaces? Yeah,
so the first few times I could like very human. I was kind of like, oh no, I could have done more. We can always do more, you know? Yeah. But then I think recently I started really enjoying watching it and kind of watching the other actors and kind of seeing the actual story of it, which is lovely again. And also strange coming from the position of my perspective of Peggy. Like, I would like be like, that's me. I can't think of anybody else's kind of, you know, I understand myself, who I am within the story, but like, it's all about like Peggy and representing her. So to now kind of have distance from it and from that character, and watching it back, it is lovely to just see it as a story and to kind of see Sheena's work and Ruan's work and like Ronan Fox's cinematographer, his work, and like him, I'm pretty sure he got me the job by telling them, you know, you should try cast, you know, Eleanor, get her in for an audition. So thank you, Ronan. It's lovely, and it's lovely. The audiences so far have been really nice and really generous, and the idea of and perspective, and I don't know if you're the same as a filmmaker, the idea, like, so when I see people who are really good in films that I really like her, and I have a feeling obviously of like, oh my god, that was amazing, and to be at the other side of that where people are coming over and being like, you were amazing, it's hard to be like, oh cool, maybe I am that person to them, or whereas, you know, I have other people who, you know, it's just an interesting different role within it that is new. Yeah.
So you wouldn't have gotten that with theatre. You wouldn't have those beats where people go, oh, that's savage, I love this.
Yeah. Or you'd have that group and then they forget about it years later, whereas film, it's like it's there forever, and it's kind of, which is nice.
And in terms of then sort of, you know, coming out the other end of it, were there any moments when you were filming, because, you know, acting is reacting, where, you know, another character would bring an energy that's totally unexpected in that moment? Were there any kind of little surprises like that you're kind of like, you're like, wow, I have to interact in the moment here?
Yeah, there definitely was, and I think it's funny because it's in the film. Excuse me. And it's when and it's really funny because I know myself, I was like, oh my god, that's me actually about to burst out laughing. And I do laugh in the scene. It's when I lock Mo Dunford into the his room, and I think I open it back up and he goes, what does he say again?
I thought you were taking me prisoner.
He was like, oh, Vima Gaffa, and he puts up his hands like that, and I'm like, I really like physical comedy, so I was like, that's really funny, and I say sorry. I don't think that's in the script at all. Like it should be Tob Roner, but I'm like, sorry, because I was like, oh god, and then I was like, no. But I just genuinely thought it was the funniest thing in the world. So that really, so I think that is the version of me just being like, you're hilarious.
It is a really lovely moment. It is, but I suppose it's probably the first time there's that level of intimacy before them. So it actually, and it's so it is so authentic that you're watching it. Like that's gorgeous. That's a lovely. That's a lovely piece now. And so you're studying now in Oxford, which is really, really exciting. And just tell me a little bit about like what prompts this.
Yeah, what prompted it? Yeah, it's so interesting. So like I think I had been
you'd done Bow Street.
I'd done Bow Street. I love that. I did it.
You did it.
Take it off the box. Finished. But I had been working in Ireland. That was lovely. Really, really, really like being like, I want to be in Ireland. I want to make it work in Ireland, etc., etc. And to an extent it has worked in Ireland, but I think it got to the point where I was talking to other actors in Ireland, and like I was speaking to ones who had trained, and I there was just a part of me that kept asking people who had trained and being like, where did you go? And like some people, like, we went to New York, I went to London, went to this, and I'd be like, and did you regret it? And every single person I asked, none of them regretted it. They were like 100% would go and do it. And like part of me, and then I was like talking about it, and I think there was a time in my life when I was quite intuitive and quite like that moxiness that Peggy has, and then I kind of got to the point where I became quite analytical of like what makes sense, what's pragmatic, what's etc. all these things. And do you want to? Is it alright?
No, I was like, what is that? I was like, it's not me. Oops. Sorry. Anyway.
No, you're fine. But so I think when I was thinking of going back, it was so funny because, like, you know, the industry kind of was getting a little bit quieter. All the strikes were happening with the writers and all those things. And I think me and my partner were thinking of moving to Japan.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, very cool. And because we like
in the next rental family, so the sequel.
Yeah. So we were thinking of moving, and then part of me was like, oh, Eleanor, like, if you could do whatever you want, like, because I was like, that's obviously a huge thing to do, just be like, yeah, we're doing that. And I was like, if you could do whatever you wanted to do, I was like, what would? And I was just privately by myself, and I was like, I'd love to audition for drama schools. I'd love to audition. Yeah. So I started like quietly auditioning by myself, and my partner would come home and be like, what'd you do today? And I'd be like, oh, nothing. Whereas I'd have like sent off all these self-tapes. Now I only auditioned for like, I think I only got the, like, I think because again I hadn't really planned it, I was very blasé about it. It was like Royal Welsh and Oxford School of Drama, they were the only two. And I went over there and I like told my partner not to tell anybody, because again I just didn't want to, I was like, I don't know, this might not be a thing. I might get offered and just don't want to do it or whatever. And got offered Oxford School of Drama, and the day I got offered, me and my partner were going to like buy a house in Killaloo or look at a house, and it felt like it was between potentially getting a house or like maybe going to move. And I didn't really know what to do, and it was kind of like, I think part of me really wanted to go to school but didn't have that confidence to just go, yeah, I'm doing it, I don't care. And it was kind of getting to the point where we were bidding on this house, and it was going crazy. Anybody who's bidding on a house, it just goes crazy, and you get into a point where you're like, we need to stop.
You will have no furniture for years. You'll be like living out of boxes.
You're like, we're getting to the legal stage where like we can't now afford it. We're now lying to people. So then I remember my partner said to me, you should go. And I was like, I think I was almost like, oh, thank God somebody's told me to do it. I was like, well, I've been told. I can't. So went there, having a great time, having an absolute ball. And like, I think I said to people in the course, I was like, this is literally the happiest I've ever been, because I was like, it's lovely working as an actor. It's fabulous. But I was like, it's almost like this precious time. And I feel like I've learned a lot like on the job, but I was like, it's lovely to give yourself a little bit of space to like learn new things. And like, if you've ever done a course in the things you love, it doesn't feel like work. You're just like, oh, this is lovely.
No, and it's much safer.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, it can be very cutthroat in all of the different fields. It can be very cutthroat, and there's such a competitive edge, and it's rejection and disappointment, and it is just a bubble of nurturing but challenging.
Yeah.
And like challenging it in a safe space, which kind of allows you to play more and to investigate more and to be a little bit more free instead of going, this has to be the thing. You're like, no, this is, you know, something that you really enjoy, and like and you dedicate time to it. You know, it's that luxury as well to learn, and you learn from the other people. It's unbelievable, and it's a really interesting dynamic. Like, there's 19 of us in our year, and it's lovely that I'm like, if you're doing good, it means I'm doing good. If you're doing really well, it means so it's like this really nice synergy that gets created. And also, like, part of me was like, we get these little reports saying like, oh, you know, maybe work on this or this and this, and like, you know, the ego can sometimes be like, hey, what do you mean? And like, defend it. I'm like, no, girl, you don't gotta defend it. I was like, you're in a place where somebody is like critiquing something, but they're also there to support you. So I was like, that's lovely. I was like, and you need to know they go hand in hand, that somebody's saying like, look, I see this, you're doing this really well, but maybe look at that, and to kind of go, oh my God, thanks so much, I would not have seen that, and that they're there to be like, we'll help you to get there, or, you know, maybe be curious about it. So it's great, and I really, really love it, and all the teachers there are lovely, and the class. Brilliant. So, and is that your focus now, or do you have anything kind of in the ether maybe that you're allowed to talk about or not allowed to talk about?
Like, I don't know if I'm allowed. I never asked them. No, there's other projects going on that like people have been, you know, like I've been tagged onto, and it's in the production state. It's nice that it's pre-production. I've never been asked to do something pre-production, so it's nice being like, what's the word, considered before the thing's actually made. So that's quite cool. So there's that, and again, it's and I thought it was so interesting. The person who asked me to do it, I was like, why did you ask me to do it? And he like listed, he had 3 reasons, but the one I really remember was he was like, I knew of Irish. He's like, Tá Gaeilge agat. And I was just like, and it's not like it's not going to be an Irish film, but he was just like, that means a lot to me that somebody, and I was just like, and again, I was talking to somebody about like the currency of Irish and Gaeilge, and I went up to Derry in Belfast, and me and my partner were in a shop, and I could hear this man speaking Irish, and then like I was like, oh, I'm going to speak a little bit of Irish to you, and I was buying something off him, and he went, oh, Tá Gaeilge agat, and I was like, yeah, and he goes, oh well, he's like, this can be 10 euros instead of 15, and I was like, oh, thank you so much. He was like, well, Tá Gaeilge agat, and I was like, oh, and he was like, I want to put value on the language where others are being like, oh, it doesn't matter. He's like, no, it is, look, you get money off it. So I was like, those kind of things that I was like, oh, people putting, again, that decision of who's putting value on things, kind of like what we said at the start, like who gets to decide, and like there's people who are like, we are choosing to value the language, and I just think that's kind of cool. I think that's really, really cool.
And have you sort of engaged with any younger actors or anything like that? Because what you've achieved is quite impressive, and it's, you know, you're going on general release now in a lot of cinemas across the whole country, and again, like promoting the language, promoting Ireland abroad as you're doing here. Have you kind of consciously thought about what that means, or do you kind of do the cognitive dissonance because it would just be too much? You're like, nah.
I've never thought of it. Like young people, like
just like going like I should do Irish. Like.
Somebody, well, to be fair, somebody did say that to me. They're like, I'm learning Irish because of you. And part of me was like, I don't believe you. But obviously maybe I should. Because part of me was like, really? You know, whereas, and again, it's that thing of that role position being changed, that like I was watching people who I was like, oh, I really look up to them, and now I'm like, I'm in a position where maybe somebody looks up to me, and it's kind of being like, okay, cool, like being comfortable with it. I always just really liked it though, because in my mind it was always cool, which is interesting, because again, I was like, I think it depends on, and again, like I think I was saying last night, or maybe it was I was in Chicago, I was saying about like, I went to the Gaeltacht, and I really liked the idea of like, if I wanted to speak to somebody else, it kind of felt like a fun game. So I always thought it was really cool. So even people being like, it's cool, in my head I was like, guys, it was always cool. It's like, it was always a cool language, and it was lovely even like abroad, you know, when you speak Gaeilge abroad, and some people are now like, oh, you gotta be careful, more people are learning it, but it's lovely that just kind of like having just this language. And even in my course there's another girl, and she's from Killaloo, and she's Irish as well, and we speak Irish, like Gaeilge Gaela, and we've a little circle Cora together, and I was just like, it's lovely that we have this. I was like, it's just our culture, and it's nice. It's nice being in a position, and other people who are older than me have said like, it's nice you go into London now and kind of, it, you know, things being calmer, and just that feeling of like able to express oneself and like part of you. But I did think it was interesting, sorry, I'm on such a rant, like watching, we just saw Listen to the Land Speak, and like even Báite, and like even Moncon speaking about like this kind of draw to it. I felt like a draw to the Irish language, that I was kind of like, and I don't know if it's from like this rebellious part in me, or this kind of like, when you hear of people that are like, I don't know, even in history where you're like, hey, they were treated unfairly, and part of me was like, hey, you know, the language was treated really unfairly, gotta stick up for it, you know, gotta give it a chance.
There's like the rebellion element to it that I found is cool, but much later, not in my school years. Fair.
Different but it is fab. And I think like doing the course, there's like a lot of people from England, and like they're learning the Irish accent, and they're doing a lot of work into like the heritage of it. So it's lovely almost seeing the flip side of it, people who are now like new generation, all those kind of things, and being like, we want to know more about the culture, and how kind of healing that is to be like, thanks. And like just them learning the Irish accent, or like being like, oh, I heard people in Ireland don't say yes. If you ask them a question, it is like, I am this, because in Irish you have like on Ashtor too, is Ashtor me, you have like, I am this. You wouldn't be like tá, you'd be like, is Ashtor me, like so I just think it's interesting. So it's lovely. But that's cool that you came around to it.
That I do.
I can come around to it whenever you want. It's always there for you.
But I think in terms of, again, performance and, you know, like getting to spread those wings, do you ever feel as an actor that you're, you know, given specific roles? Is there any role like that you were never offered, or a type of character or a type of thing that you'd like love to get your
I'd love to be, this is going to be hilarious now, I'd love to be, do you like Schmiegel? I would love to play an animal character. I'd love to play something really animalistic, because I really like physicality. I think it's really, really cool. And even also Shape of Water, do you know the character in Shape of Water? I just love all that stuff. I'm like, I just love Schmiegel. I just think he's really cool, and I'm like, there was a film ages ago. Oh my god, I can't remember the name of what it was, and it definitely got made, and I'm sure it was very good. But it was this idea of like all these, you know, teenagers who thought they were animals, and I was like, oh, I really want to get the part. Yeah. And I did not get the part. But just that idea of like embodying an animal, I just think is fab.
You should do that for your actor as creator.
I know.
You should do something like that for your actor as creator.
I know. I should say myself. Yeah, that's so true. I should.
Do you know?
No, definitely.
And you've a busy year ahead. You've a couple of projects around the corner. Like, are these moments that you kind of take stock on? Was there ever like a dark night of the soul that you can kind of compare this? Because it like as an observer, and I know it doesn't always feel like that when you're in the moment of it. It does feel like a time of abundance and celebration.
Yeah. What's dark night of the soul? Sorry,
like the bit where you're just like,
I was like, what does that mean?
The bit where you're just really depressed because things maybe haven't worked out in that way.
Yeah, like I think like it's so interesting because again, being in the course and doing Oxford, I can see people at different stages and me being like, oh, I remember when I was there, and I was like, it gets better. And like part of me was almost even kind of like anything with acting, I was like, oh, what was I thinking of? Oh, what was it again? I can't remember. But it was this idea of like almost this stubbornness around like, is acting working out? Because I'm just being like, no, I don't care. I'm staying, guys. Best of luck. Yeah. No, like, is that it? Is that what acting is? Where you're just like, no, I'm not going. Almost. And like, I remember there was a lovely actor I met that he was like, hey, if you hang out a barber long enough, you're going to get a haircut. And I was like, that kind of feeling like, is it that? But like and again, my friend said to me again, I thought it was so funny, different friend, also very lovely friend, she was saying like, Eleanor, like, you'll have this time to look back, like if ever there's like a dark patch again. I was like, girl, is there ever going to be a dark patch again? I was like, I'm beside it. It's going to be all up from here, like we're going to have a good time. And even like a lot of people I've met also, it's that feeling, and even what you said, like, you know, oh, make actors create. I'm like, oh yeah, give myself the thing of being like, oh yeah, I'm going to do the thing. Why? Because I want to do it. And even other filmmakers, even at the ages, I can't remember who it was, but he was fabulous. He was like, don't wait 20 years to do the thing. And like even hanging out with Ruan and Sheena, like they're so like, I don't know if we're allowed to say the word ballsy, but like they're so like, they just go getters. And part of me is like, oh my god, that is literally just it. You just have to be like, no, I'm doing the thing. This is what I want to do, and can you help me do the thing? Or and that just takes confidence, and that just takes kind of like not caring as much anymore, which is lovely, the not caring thing.
And that's it. And I suppose that's it. When you create that space, that's when everything exciting happens. It's almost like sometimes there are invisible barriers that you put there yourself.
Yes.
Like the unconscious ones.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you so much. Congratulations on an amazing film.
Thanks
and
so much.
in cinemas. You're still lots of celebrating to go.
Yeah, still 6th of March. It's going to be great. It's going to be real.